Okay, today is the final lecture for this course. We'll spend 3 hours on chapter 8, the final chapter. Chapter 8 is on network security. As we said, in chapter 7, we talk about QoS, quality of service, and this chapter on security. These two are big issues or advanced issues in computer networks. As we discussed last week, QoS, the importance of QoS goes up and down. It depends on how much bandwidth we can offer on the infrastructure, and also depends on how much bandwidth needed by the application. If the application need more bandwidth and the infrastructure can offer less, then QoS is important because you need to impose some more control on the network to provide QoS. However, if it's the other way around, the bandwidth provisioning is good or over provisioned, and the application bandwidth does not require that much, then the QoS is not an important issue. So as you can see, that QoS importance of QoS fluctuate over the years, and right now it's not that important, but still important, but not that critical. Okay, in recent years. Okay, but as we move on to have more bandwidth-intensive applications with high-quality video, we could expect and also the provision, the prevalence of P2P applications, we would see that the demand for bandwidth would arise again. In that case, then the QoS will become important at that time. On the other hand, network security is increasingly important in recent years. In fact, in the past 10 years, more and more security incidents happened on the internet, where you would hear on the media that some people have hacked the banking system, or some people have hacked the famous website. Okay, that was years ago, and in recent years, you would hear news about the botnet, where the program residing on the PC of many people have collected a tremendous amount of private personal data, okay, by the so-called botnet, the bot programs, a network of bots that will collect from PCs about personal information, and they steal the personal information, which include your identity, your ID, password, your account information, and they will sell it. They will sell those personal information to somebody who need it. They need it probably because they want to abuse, or they want to abuse your account, or they want to send advertisement to you. Okay, so those are these are happening in recent years, that private data is being collected in a very scalable way. Okay, so it's as you can see, the security issue evolved even over the past 10 years, evolved from from one form to another form. and we will see that in this chapter. At the beginning, the security issue arises as the data security. Before there were hackers. Well, people are concerning whether I should put my private data on the public internet. That was the first concern. That was the first concern. Before the internet is popular, or the public internet is popular, what happened in the enterprise is if they have multiple sites to connect, okay, if I run company X and I have sites 1, 2, 3 to interconnect, what I would do is I would list 3 lines from site 1 to site 2, and then from site 2 to site 3, and then probably site 3 to site 1. Or maybe I just rent or lease 2 links to connect these 3 sites together. So I'm leasing the dedicated line, which is called lease lines, in order to interconnect multiple sites. Because I don't want my private data to run on the public internet. I don't want again, there was internet already, but if I run company X, I have a concern to put my private data between site A and site 1 and site 2 to run through the internet, because on the internet somebody else might be able to see my private data. I mean, when I say private data here, I mean the company data, not the personal data, but the company data. I might be transferring the customer information or sales information between site 1 and site 2. And for that data transfer, I don't want them to go through internet, because on the internet it will be seen. So my first concern is this, to interconnect multiple sites. So, but then leasing lines from ISP, from the service provider, is expensive. I remember that if you lease 1.5 megabit per second T1 line, the T1 line is 1.5 megabit per second. For 1 month, it will be 200,000 NT dollars, which is about 7,000 US dollars per month. That is a lot. That is a lot. For point to point, okay, from site 1 to site 2, okay, I need to pay this amount every month. That's too much. So it's okay probably for big companies to pay this amount, but for a medium-sized company, it's a large overhead. So they are thinking about moving the private data onto the public internet. So why not just list an access line for site 1, site 2, site 3? They could just list the access line instead of listing the line connecting site 1 to site 2. That's a long distance line. But if I just list the access line, which will be local, just 3 kilometers or 5 kilometers, the line is short and the cost is much reduced. If I list a line for site 1 to site 2, that would be probably a long distance line, several hundreds of kilometers away. So company, the enterprise start to move to the internet by just leasing the local line, local access line for site 1, site 2, and site 3, okay? And then put the packet through the internet. Put the packet through it. The internet will route for themselves, for the packets automatically. However, the concern is then I'm running private data, my company's private data on the public internet. And it might traverse across several ISP, perhaps several ISPs. So what we can do is that we need to do encryption and authentication. Encryption so that the ISP people would not be able to see my data. Authentication because I don't want my data to be changed. I want to protect my data from being changed. If it's changed, then through the authentication mechanism, we will be able to see, okay, this is not a valid data from my company. It has been changed. So, and that's the technology called VPN, Virtual Private Network. Virtual Private Network. So that the company having 3 sites can construct several VPN tunnels, say for example 3 VPN tunnels, and those VPN tunnels will do encryption and authentications to avoid the security. I mean, to avoid being the data being leaked and being modified by others, being leaked to others and being modified by others. So that's the technology of virtual private network. It is called virtual private network because it's essentially the company feel that this is my network, my own network. This is my private network. But it's not real. It's not real. It's a virtual network across the internet, across the public internet. Okay, so that would solve the first issue, the data security issue, where we want to protect the private data on the public internet. And we will see how we could do encryption and authentication next. And then we will see how we do this in the protocol layer. In different protocol layer, you will see that from layer 2, it could be done at a layer 2. I mean, the VPN protocol could be done in layer 2, or in layer 3, IP layer, or in application layer. Okay, so we'll see that in section 8.2. And then the VPN solved the problem, and right now the VPN has been used extensively. Almost all the company which have multiple sites would do this. And the change, the evolution in recent years is that years ago, perhaps 5 years ago, the company will construct their own VPN gateway in their company, in their office. Okay, so in their office building, they would have VPN gateway. But now it's a shift to ISP. The ISP would offer, the ISP say, okay, I can do VPN for you. So you don't need to manage your own VPN. I can manage VPN for you. So you just subscribe the VPN service to me, and I will configure, the ISP say, you just subscribe the VPN service to me, and I will configure my VPN gateway for you to establish the VPN tunnel from site 1 to site 2. Okay, so the VPN tunnel termination now in recent years are within ISP. Well, that is a concern. There might be a concern that from a company saying, okay, the VPN tunnel termination is not on my site, it's on your site. What happens if somebody is sneaking the data between my gateway and your gateway? Okay, beyond your gateway it's safe, but before your gateway it might not be safe. Okay, if a company have that concern, then they would move the VPN gateway to their office building instead of outsource to the ISP site. But since managing VPN, configuring VPN is not that trivial. It's not that trivial. So most mid-size and small-size enterprises would all outsource the VPN configuration to ISP. So then it would terminate at the ISP site, at the ISP VPN gateway. Not the VPN gateway is not in the enterprise, but it's in the ISP. So that's the recent changes. Okay, and then once the enterprise networking is shifted to internet and protected with VPN, then the enterprise networking people has a concern now that since their network is connected to the internet, so they have concern that my employees are accessing something that they shouldn't spend time on. They probably spending time on accessing something not related to their business. For example, they connected and then access MSN, Facebook all the time, the social networking, and they probably spend 2 hours per day doing MSN and Facebook. So so that would affect the productivity. So they don't want that to happen, probably. And also they have a concern that my internal server or my internal resources might be accessed from somebody else on the internet, but not my employees. So somebody else might be accessing my files in the enterprise since my network is connected to the internet. So I have the concern for the outgoing traffic and also for the incoming traffic. So what I want to do is I want to limit the access. I want to limit the access, which means I want to decide who can access what. Who can access what. So that's the second concern, which is called access security. I want to control who can access what on the outgoing traffic and also on the incoming traffic. And for this, you see the solution, which is so-called firewall. The firewall. The firewall is not taking care of data security. It is taking care of access security. It is deciding who can access what. And in this section, 8.3, you will see there are two kinds of firewalls. One is called the TCP/IP firewalls. One is called the application firewall. The difference lies in whether the access control is based on the TCP/IP headers or the application header and payload. Okay, if the access control is based on checking the TCP header and IP header, then it's called TCP/IP firewall. If the access control is based on application header and payload, then it's called application firewall. So we'll see these two kinds of firewalls. Okay, so with that, so with VPN, we can we have confidence on putting private data on the public internet. With firewalls, we have confidence on protecting our internal resource and protecting limiting outgoing traffic. Okay. And then the third concern with VPN and firewall is still not enough. You see the system has vulnerability holes everywhere. Okay. Because the system we use and the server, say for the router we use, the router we use, the gateway we use, the server we use, the client we use would have many vulnerability holes that would be attacked in different forms. So because of if the system design and implementation are perfect, then the system security is not an issue. The problem is they are not perfect. The design, either the design is imperfect or the implementation is imperfect, mostly because of the implementation. Because the implementation is not perfect, and there have been many security holes where and in fact there are many reported vulnerabilities every year in different client server programs and different networking programs. So, and each of these vulnerabilities will become there exist. For each of the vulnerability, there exists one or multiple tools that can attack the vulnerability. Okay, so that is a big concern for that system security. So and what is the solution? The solution is so-called, well, there are several kinds of solutions. Either called intrusion detection system or intrusion prevention system. If it's checking against intrusion, and there could be anti-malware, antivirus solution, which check against malware and virus, and you will see that the difference between intrusion and malware virus, you will see that what's the difference between these two. We will see that. Okay.